2025 has been a year, and I mean that sincerely. It's been amazing, and I'm excited to share with you guys a lot about 2025 gaming and then some personal updates and much more. First things first, man, what a year it's been. It's been a good variety. All right, so if you didn't find one game that you really loved, there's a problem. You're not a gamer. Just go, go outside, enjoy the sun. And that's actually pretty cool. You should be doing that anyways. That being said, we're gonna dive deep into a lot of things, but before I do, I want to address the fact I am tagging all of my channels on this one video strictly because I haven't posted in a little while and I wanted to address everybody together. Basically, yes, I took some breaks. I had a very rough year, personally, some hardcore emotional stuff, losses, family matters, and things that just really had my heart broken. And then it got stomped, and it was just like getting beat up, even all the way up until December. So I took some breaks, but I do have my giveaway for the Metal Gear Explained community, which if you're watching this, don't worry, the giveaway is coming on where there's Kojima signed posters and some other cool stuff from the Metal Gear, things that you can never find anywhere, no store, basically. And then the NBA channel is more just cool, and I'll give y'all an update in a minute. And then the Mad Gamer channel, and those two things, and all three of the channels, I'm changing a little bit on how I make the content. Just before we get into these 2025 games, I want to get a little more personal with you guys, as well as kind of share different things in the gaming space on how I do the stuff. So I got a lot of ideas. I've been kind of researching it as well privately, taking some time just to learn some stuff. And so, yeah, we're going to have a new system in play as well. So be excited. With all that out of the way, I do want to get into one of the coolest things for me this year is the variety. I mean, there's so many good games, and I want to talk about my experience and then also share like some really cool stuff of games that other people recommend, as well as 2026 going forward. And we're going to basically cover all that as best as possible. Yep. First things first, I'm not going to mention my game of the year yet. I'm going to do a segment for that, but we're going to talk about the games I played personally. I played a lot of games, over 100 games, but the ones that I really recommend. You got Ghost of Yotei, a true masterful sequel. You get sequels, but they're usually not that great. But this one was spectacular. If I had to play a game and it's like, oh, that is like a must play this year. Definitely spectacular. Another must play, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. I'm not going to go too deep into this because I have a whole channel dedicated to it, but that game surprised me because I didn't think a remake can do good if it's a classic. Like, how much better can you make a classic, But modernizing a game is actually very good. Like, it really helps. And so for me, I don't ever want to go back to the old one. And don't get it twisted, I love Kojima, but it wasn't like they took away from his work. All the main mechanics and fundamentals are there. There's nothing wrong with it. So super recommended as the must play this year as well. Another one, and I know not everybody's into puzzle games, I am, and Blueprints is a puzzle game that I thought was one of the best, if not the best, of the year. Super cool. Another cool, fun game if you like co-op is Split Fiction. It is basically like nostalgia heaven of a bunch of different game modes within a storyline, which I thought was fun. And then as you're seeing in the background, the Clair Obscur winning all the awards this year. Kind of outrageous, to be honest, because gameplay wise, I just couldn't do it, man. Maybe I'm like, I don't know. I'm not into turn-based games, so I don't like going into a menu to fight a boss or fight an enemy. So it just was hard to play through gameplay wise. The story, visuals, music was so good though, so I just stuck around for it. Talk about gameplay. Ninja Gaiden 4 combat is just fun. You got to try it. As far as Dune Awakening, it is the best survival game that I've played. And I don't play MMOs, but I did get into it. It was pretty cool. Then Where Winds Meet, the absolute most surprise, not really to me, but to the world. It is probably one of the best games of the year. I got it in my top 5. Just enjoy Where Winds Meet. I don't know. Arc Raiders, which was such a cool multiplayer. But the best multiplayer is Battlefield 6. It's the best first-person shooter, and then also best battle royale. Those are some of the games. There's a lot more, like Silent Hill F, Ready or Not, Wuchang Fallen Dynasty, The First Berserker, Elden Ring Night Ring, Assassin's Creed Shadows. Those are games you guys can play. Great games like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Haze 2. These are games I didn't play those last couple. Didn't play those last 3 or whatever, but I heard great things. And I'm brushing through those because we're getting to the best game, the greatest. What you're looking at in the background. The King of Kings. I am so happy about Death Stranding 2. And let's get into why. This is my game of the year, guys. Like, it was absolutely spectacular. It's done things that no other game can do. It is hit on every cylinder, right? Like when you got the list, right? Graphics, real life. This looks like the actual actors, and presentation, got it. Gameplay, got it. What else do you want? You got everything. Storyline, like ridiculous. Like it hits. And the crazy part is, like, I was playing through it and kind of thinking, what if I'd never played Kojima game and this was my first? Like, you're just like, wow, amazing. How do you do this? And being a Kojima fan, it makes the game even better because he has so many gold nuggets in here. I want to kind of go through really quickly on some things on why I feel this game is that good, right? Because everybody says what they personally feel like. Oh, I personally love Kojima and all that, which, yes, Kojima games are the best, but what would make this game so good? I had somebody who kind of hated on Death Stranding play this, and they're like, oh, it's pretty good, man, and really they just wanted to say how bad they hate it. But he said they played like 50 hours or something. I don't know how many hours. I was surprised. I'm like, wow, the guy who disrespected me in my face and said Kojima sucks, Death Stranding sucks, is actually into it. And it just shows, like there's a compelling story, really powerful elements. And then the gameplay, for some people, they'll be like, oh, if you walk into it thinking, oh, it's a walking simulator, the internet has been joking. And it's like, actually, it's not. There's a lot more to the mechanics and systems and the way it works. And they've done a good job, this part 2, erasing that walking simulator part. Now, yes, you have to build things like, for example, roads if you want an easier time to traverse the lands. But if you don't, then you're going to be grinding, struggling, fighting through terrain, different weather, right? Different scenarios, and it's just having a very hard time. And the cool part is there's a social system where a player can put a shelter and you just run into it. And it's like, oh, thank you for bringing that shelter there. Or maybe they put a generator somewhere close by, right? These are the kind of things that are going to help you in your journey. And even if you're walking through the forest, you'll pave the road. The more players go through a specific area, it'll pave that road and it'll create, long-term effects in the land. And it's just such a beautiful shared world where you're dealing with the environment and terrain that other games feel plain. Like if you go back to another game and you're just walking from A to B, it's kind of like, oh, this is kind of boring. There's no danger. There's no, struggle or nothing. It's just like go to A to B and then shoot some things and then go to B to C and then continue to shoot some things. But with Death Stranding, they don't do that. They're like, hey, you're going to go through some things. We got to figure this out. Fight through, man. And the journey is the most important part in the game. because it has its own little mini story in it. And then of course the cutscenes are outrageous, which are a different topic. We're not doing a whole review today, but this is a part of why I got this game in the best. The reason why is because like if I went down the list of quality, you know, even with like Clair Obscur, I got it as one of the top games of the year, but gameplay wise I couldn't do it, and it just started making me realize there's things in the game that wasn't great. Like I was traversing and it's like, oh, just go up this corner and you're gonna fight another guy. Now you got to go through turn-based menus again, and it just was turning me off. And it was like, like it was a drag for somebody like me who rather the action, you know. And I don't mean that in a negative way about the game, but with this game, Death Stranding, I don't have any of those effects. Everything is flowing. It is its own design. Just like if you play like a puzzle game, it's its own design, but puzzle game can't make you feel like dragging here. With Death Stranding, there's not really dragging. Yes, the traversal can be difficult, and it's like, oh, I gotta get over here, I gotta get to A to B, and man, I'm carrying this cargo, it's raining, it's gonna destroy the stuff. And it's like, well, don't worry, you know, that's the part of the grind. You know, the whole world is a boss fight basically. And so that was a special, and that matters to me a lot personally. So yeah, outside of that, you know, just a well-designed game, you know, great performances and things of that nature. And I'm not going to go too deep into it because we'll be here all day about this game. You know, Kojima touched on Metal Gear stuff with some stealth mechanics. He kind of added a lot of cool little things for the heck of it, and I'm excited for what he does next. But yeah, we are blessed, guys, super blessed. And hopefully you guys try this one out on your own time. Don't play it to beat it, right? Like play it to enjoy it. I think I gotta say that in general. 2025, I didn't stream this game fully. I didn't stream a couple of other games because I just was like, I'm gonna play it for myself. No offense to my viewers, but I'm like, I'm gonna do it for me. That was kind of what I did. I enjoyed it. And then on a personal note, you know, Sam is going through a lot of stress, a lot of sadness, a lot of issues, and I've been going through a lot of stuff this year. And I thank God for carrying me through it and lifting me up and not letting me fall and stay down. I kept on trying to be the best I could be, do the best I can every day. And we got to do a lot of beautiful things. We raised 10 million for the children's hospitals. We raised a couple million for educational nonprofit organizations and did some fun new things for some programs as well, teaching that. And then the Dorchester, Massachusetts, where I live, you know, we served thousands of homeless and help them, you know, either find jobs, find shelter, and get their lives in order. And you know, even though I went through my sadness and my tough times and cried a lot this year, I think I cried more than half the year every day, you know what I mean, like 100 plum days, guys. And I'm jump on the stream and I've cried on stream. You know, we be real out here. This is real life. You're not gonna hide behind, you know, but some of that stuff is private. But yeah, I went through all those things, and this game connects with me in that way where it has so many deep layers and beautiful things that it does. And so that's why I got it as not only game of the year, but like it really connected even deeper. Even if it wasn't my game of the year, personally, it touched me in a different way. So I'm grateful for that. And I recommend it. Okay, so you listen to me or you won't get in trouble out here. All right. But yeah, let me know what game does that for you. Let's talk about it in the comments as far as like what y'all into and where y'all at with it. You know, should be interesting as we go forward. Now, I want to take a little moment to talk about 2026. Okay, like first things first, 2025 is gone. You use it as a stepping stone, as a tool to prosper, to get evolve and try to be better and do better, and then you go forward, you know. So I want to get into some of these things with the new games and talk about, well, what is next, right, for next year. And there's a couple cool games. I'm not going to display every single game. I'll showcase some visuals in a minute when I get to a specific game or two. But you know, I'll just kind of name them and y'all let me know if you heard of it, and if you didn't, check them out. You got High Guard, which is a pretty interesting game, something I didn't know much about when I first checked it out. Just one trailer of some combat. It's coming out in January. These are all like January, February, March games I'm going to mention for the moment. So there's that, and then there's Neo 3. You guys know me, I play a lot of Team Ninja games, and Neo has been one of the most interesting games for me because I just really dived into the combat and really enjoyed myself with part 2. And now part 3 is coming out in February 6th, and I'm just going to be honest, you know, these guys have been cooking. I don't know how these guys in their studio have been this consistent, but like, think about it. We got like 4 Ninja Gaiden games last year. Well, this year, 2025, we got a bunch of stuff over and over and over and over, and it just keeps getting better. And now they have their game coming out in February, so I'm excited to see what that is like. Another cool game is Stick. I don't know if you ever heard of that game. It's a stealth game. Stick Blade of Greed, coming out in February 19th. Another interesting one, which is just my style, which you'll definitely see me play. And another one for March is Crimson Dawn. Guys, I'm telling you, that's going to be one of the biggest of the year. At least for me, combat wise, and like the boss fights I've already played a bunch of it, and I was like, damn, like they have very unique boss fight, like some scenarios, certain things you got to do for a boss or two. I don't want to spoil the game. It still hasn't been like revealed fully, but I loved it and I'm excited. Super excited for Crimson. Then, of course, what you're watching in the background is probably one of my biggest games of the year. I cannot begin to tell you, man. 007. If you guys know me, me and Hitman, the IO Interactive Studio, I made Hitman for like 20 years, and I've loved stealth, so it's one of my favorites. But one of the things I've always said was like, what would happen if they made an action game? It would be interesting. And I just kind of explored it in my mind. And I'm like, you know, IO Interactive makes very cool stealth games, but it would be nice if they could make an action game too. Because sometimes I'm not always about stealth. Sometimes you just want to get in and punch some things or shoot some things, you know, like it's just a mood thing. Like sometimes you just want to race, like you're seeing here. It's like, okay, thank you, please put that in game. You know, now we got 007. Who would have thought? Because, you know, I would, if this could have been a generic game, and I would have still played it. As far as like IO Interactive, oh yeah, they could have put, you know, SpongeBob SquarePants on there. I would have tried it. But man, they're coming out with a banger, and it's on March, so I'm excited for that. So it should be great. And you know, we'll see how good their game is. I want to get into GTA. Here's my thing, right, guys? I'm gonna be real with y'all. I can care less about GTA 5. I think I just got like sick of like it getting ported on every device and every single. It's like too much, man, and it got exhausting. But I am interested for them to finally make a game. The expectations are too high from the community. I just want a cool story to experience and a nice open world, like whatever they're gonna do. If it's interesting and fun, I'm going for it. And so this looks just up my alley. Like they're actually hitting on all cylinders. Now the truth is that comes out in November, so it's late this year, but I do think it's gonna be popping, just in my opinion, you know. But what do I know? Yeah, but there's things like Gears of War E-Day that looks interesting. We'll see what they can do with that. One of my big times is Phantom Blade. Guys, I've talked about this game for like 5 years, man. I'm sorry that I dragged it, but September 9th is the official release date for this game, and we don't know like that date changes or anything, but I know one thing: this is gonna be one of my favorite games. Just combat wise, if you guys know how I do, I like these hardcore martial arts and combat based games for me personally. Absolutely all for it. And yeah, so Lords of the Fallen, if you guys remember, I played part 1 and I was in love with it. I'm still in love with it. Part 2 is coming and it's going to be super spectacular. They don't have the official date just yet, but I'm assuming before the end of the year it's coming. So that's kind of what they stated. They've been doing a lot of hard work on that game, so I got to give them credit where credit is due. And last but not least, the one and the only, the king of the kings that I think will get my game of the year candidate, only because it's from the studio who made Returnal, and this is basically like a Returnal sequel if you watch it carefully. Returnal was something different for me. Like, there's few times a game can be like, my God, like I feel brand new. I feel different. I don't feel like that with most games. I just don't have it in me to feel that way. And it's like, oh, the game's all right. It's typical, I know. But this game, the original Returnals, was just special. And this new one, it looks like it's surpassing that. It took all the good stuff from there and it just added its own new interventions. And it's just it's an enhancement. So this is going to be my possibility for game of the year candidate, in my opinion. And again, each to each his own, you know, but April 30th, this is my birthday gift to myself. That's gonna be the game. And by the way, man, I need to play this early. Let me talk to them developers, man, because this is the one of few games where it's like, yeah, I want to play this ahead of time, man, because I don't like rushing through the game to do a review or anything. When people ask me to review a game, they're like, you got 3 days, and it's like, dude, it's 60 hours. Like, the game is 60 hours to fully play. I'm not a fake reviewer. I'm not gonna do like a 2 hours and then review the game. I gotta play the whole thing. So anyways, that's a whole nother combo. Check it out, okay? I promise you, you won't regret it, is what I can say. But yeah, that is the year, in my opinion, one of the best years next year. And there's still more games. Literally, I got a big list of other games like Marathon, the Marvel Captain America game, the Marvel Wolverine game as well, Prince of Persia, you know, Tomb Raider. There's games coming out, so we're in a good place, guys. So lock in 2026. I'm coming back with a new flow, with a new feel, with a new vibe, and you know, we're gonna do some things, man. But I appreciate y'all. I'm trying to recover, I'm trying to heal, send prayers, give thanks to God every day, and make the best of every day, continue to prosper and to move forward. All right, that's pretty much it for 2025's recap. Hopefully this was entertaining, interesting, and got you guys locked in. All right, so I'll see you on the next one. Stay safe. Peace.